Hello. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. It's day 7. Yay! I was down about 7 pounds this morning. So that's about a pound a day. I'll post a video of the scale later if that's what everybody's doing. I'm not sure if everybody's doing that. I'm sorry about not posting yesterday. I was actually kind of lazy in the first part of the day. We watched a movie and just kind of laid around the house. But then the second part of the day we were really busy. We went for a drive over the river. That's where I was when y'all were in the chat room. So when Eve texted me, I was like, oh gosh, I thought we were doing that next Sunday for the people in the UK. So apparently I just misunderstood. But we were over a drive. For those of you that don't know, I live on the east coast of North Carolina. And we have the Neuse River, and it's a very wide river that empties into the Atlantic Ocean, and it's, you know, maybe 20-25 minutes from my house. And so we went for a drive over there. I like to go for a drive over the river. It's a big bridge, and we got to see all the boats. The sailboats were out for Memorial Day and things like that, so we had a good time doing that. And then when I got home, I had to sign some contracts. They were selling my grandmother's house, which is kind of sad for me. My grandmother died about 2 years ago. She lives in the mountains. I am a mountain girl. I grew up in the mountains, Southwest Virginia. But they were selling her house, and I was the last person to sign. Those of us that wanted her house couldn't afford to buy everybody else out, and those that could afford to didn't want the house. So it was kind of bittersweet. I didn't really want the house to go. I always wished I could have a house in the mountains. And you'll probably think this is kind of corny, but what I would eventually like to do before I die, I would love to have a cabin in the mountains. Just a log cabin, just a little stream running through, and grow some fruits and vegetables and just chill out on the mountains. So, but that's just silly, something silly I like. But last night, for those of you that weren't on the chat, we were talking a little bit about the medication that I was on before I started my juice fast. I was diagnosed pre-diabetes. Well, they call it insulin resistance, but same thing, pre-diabetes. My blood sugars would swing really high and then come down really, really low. And of course I'm overweight, so they started me on metformin. Metformin was supposed to stabilize my blood sugars and help my insulin level stay low. Also, it was supposed to help me lose some weight. So they also gave me a little diet to follow, which of course was pretty much the SAD diet. I mean, it wasn't a lot of junk food, but you know, other things that are on the SAD diet. And they told me that I could have fruit, but if I wanted to have fruit, that I needed to eat the whole fruit and not to ever drink any fruit juices. They said that that would make my sugar go way too high, and that I should stay away from fruit juice. So what happened was the metformin caused a lot of fluid retention, and my weight started going up. I gained a lot of weight, and I told my doctor this, and she was like, well, you need to stay on the medication. You know, you need it. You're going to end up diabetic if you don't stay on it. So I stayed on it, and I stayed on it for about 8 months. And then I felt worse, and I just really didn't feel like that was for me. I needed to get off of it. Of course, you know, there's also the concerns about, you know, the medications filtering through the liver, and I wasn't really technically diabetic, so I stopped it. I don't recommend anybody doing that. That's not what I'm saying, but you know, like I said, I wasn't actually diagnosed a diabetic. It was just a pre-diabetic condition, so I stopped it. I started looking online, and that's when I found out all the information about juicing, and I found a lot of different websites and YouTube channels, and I think that's actually where I found Steve. For those of you that are not in the club, Steve Kreider's Juice Club is on Facebook. It's a wonderful group, the best group out there. So go on Facebook and check it out, Steve Kreider's Juice Club. So I decided I was going to try it, and this was before this current juice fast. So so I started it, and you know, my my blood sugar started to normalize. So it evened out, and even though the metformin was evening it out, well, it didn't even it out. The metformin was keeping my sugar from going high. It didn't stop it from getting really low like it would do. But the juicing kept it on an even keel. I would wake up and it would be around 90-ish in the morning, fasting. After a juice, it would never get higher than maybe 130, 135. And I stayed in that range continuously throughout the day. All the fluid retention left me. I felt so much better. I felt so much more energy, and I started losing weight. So, so I started a vegan diet right after that. I was only able to stay on the juice fast for 4 days the first time. I have a really stressful job. For those of you that work in the medical field, you know what I'm talking about. It's very, very stressful. Sometimes you don't get a lunch. You rarely get breaks ever. So it was just really hard. I was going through detox at the time. So trying to go through detox and being in a really, really stressful job was just not working for me. So, but I went on the vegan diet afterwards, and I stayed raw vegan for a while, for, like I said, probably about 2.5 months, I think. I ended up losing about 30 pounds, and my blood sugar stayed normal. But then, I went back to the SAD diet, and I'm not really sure why I did that. I don't know if it was just temptation, stress, or whatever, but, so my weight started creeping back up, and I think I was about 215 at my highest. I had lost all the way down to about 185, and it went back up to 196 when I started this time. I saw the thing about the juice fast on Steve's YouTube channel, and so I thought, I'm going to do that again. So that's where I'm at now, and so I'm on day 7, so it's really good. And so that's about it. I will talk with you all soon, and like I said, I will post a shot of the scale if that's what everybody's doing in a little bit. So I'll wait and see what everybody else is doing. So everybody keep up the spirits. I'm glad to see that you all made it to day 7 with me. Oh, and one more thing. I do start back to my job tomorrow. I have been off work for 11 days, been on vacation, so I'm really kind of nervous to go back to work tomorrow. It's going to be stressful, and thank God I only work 4 days a week, so I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Except this Friday we have to learn a new machine, so I'll be in the office for about 4 hours learning a new machine for the doctor. But so I'm going to need a lot of support out there, and if I don't post little comments, it's not because I'm not thinking about you, because I am. It's just that I don't have time to get on there. I'll try to get on there at lunchtime and try to read some posts, but please know that I'm thinking about everybody, and I'm really encouraging you, and I don't want us to lose touch or anything. So, and if I can't get through, Monday through Friday and do a lot of stuff, then I'll try to catch up on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to try to do a video every day. I don't know that I'll be able to. It just depends on how busy it is. Sometimes, I have to work late, and I don't get home till really late. So, but just think about me while you're juicing, and send good vibes my way, because there's some negative energy at my office. So, and so a lot of temptations. So, but anyway, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Okay? Bye-bye.